Hi guys, welcome to the stream. This isn't going to be a long stream, so I'm just going to get into some photos. I'm going to try and get the chat up on my phone so I don't miss anything. Let me know if the sound quality is good, if you can hear me. Okay, that should work, seeing the chat. But I may not respond because I might not see it. So anyway, I thought I'd go back over some old rig shots and edit them from scratch to see. I don't know. I think I edited them a bit flat last time. Like, I don't know. I want to jazz it up a little bit. So let's get into it. So this is how it came out. File, camera, raw, untouched. So I put it all back to normal. So I'm going to go quiet now and start editing this. I mean, ask questions, do whatever you want to do, but hopefully you enjoy it. So I generally like to cool my images down a little bit because my 10 stop filter, if you go back to as shot, a little bit of a warm cast to it. It's a B&W, no, yeah, B&W filter. So it gives it a little bit of a warm glow, but don't really like that when it's not a sunset. So we'll just cool it down a little bit. Tint, don't really want to play with that, so we'll put that back to 0. The good thing about this shot is it came out pretty much perfectly exposed, sky and ground. Anyway, I didn't have any ND filters on this one. I think I just got lucky. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick grad filter like that, but I don't want to make it too dark. Because what I plan to do this time is, obviously we've got a light source coming in from that direction, so I want to try and put a flare in that corner, but we'll see how it goes as we go along. I'm just trying to reply to my comments. Okay. How are we doing in here? How's the stream quality? Any good? Right, let's get back into this. There we go. Well, we've got 4 viewers. Hello, everyone. So, right. So I generally like to leave it as this. I don't really play around with Camera Raw too much. I mean, I've already done. I mean, that was before lens corrections. Just got rid of a vignette. Chromatic aberrations. I don't get that many chromatic aberrations with my Sigma lens. It's quite a good one. It's a Sigma 1020. So let's just bump that a little bit. We'll do the shadows a touch because they're a little bit dark on the side of the car. Tiny win, a little bit of clarity. I think we can bump the saturation up a little bit because I want this one to be a bit more colourful than my last time. Because what I'll do is, if you open this up, yeah, that's something I'm working on. You'll see something about that soon. So we'll just save this quickly. Right, so my workthrough for basically big shots is I like to duplicate the background, make a new layer, do a stamp visible, and I use this one to do a quick content aware fill of the actual main rig, and I'd say 8-9 times out of 10 it gets it pretty much spot on. I mean, needs to touch it up, so let's just do that quickly. So what we'll do, we'll create a quick selection around here. Oh, my computer's lagging. So we'll just close that selection off. As you can see, this rig shot is tack sharp, which is what I like to see. It's good. My old rig used to bounce a little bit, so far wheel wasn't that sharp, but this car camera rig is pretty awesome. So content aware. And as you can see, it's done an okay-ish job. I think we'll just need to touch it up a little tiny weeny little bit. So I'll make sure no one's talking in the chat. So how are we on stream health? No, not too good. How's the quality of the stream? Please, someone put in the comments how well it looks. Is it choppy? Is it good? Because obviously I want to do more of these. So, right, so that's the basic sort of framework of the actual. Just need to tidy it up a little bit. So, do a retouch layer. And we'll just play around until I get it how I like it. So, I'll shut up a little bit. Quite a bit of a colour change there, but nothing I can't fix. No, I'm not overly keen on that. Why am I not seeing your comment, Aaron? Right. That might be my internet because of the graining. Because I don't know, not the greatest internet here, but can't complain. So I just want to get rid of these lines that the clone content aware put in, but I think I can get away with it pretty well on these things here. So, God, my computer's so slow. So I want to get them to line up. Nope. Don't want you, Arial. There we go. So that's looking better. If I turn this on and off, you can see I've got rid of this line that the content aware fill put in. So I think that will fit for now. This is the first for me, mate. I'll get off the street. There we go. So let's take this down methodically. So what we'll do now, we'll sort this bit here where content aware decided to put the aerial in there. So what we'll do, make a quick pen path. Turn this music off. Not liking this music. Sorry, I can't play any sort of music or something in the background because this will go as a video on my YouTube channel afterwards, and I'll probably get a copyright strike, which isn't the most pleasant thing to get out of. So there we go. It's pretty sort of quite simple to get rid of that bit there. As long as your selections are pretty good. So there we go. So that's basically the whole boom we got rid of. So I did 2 steps. So that's what content aware did. Pretty good job. And then I've just touched it up. I mean, yes, I've lost a bit of cloud definition there, but I'm sure I can sort that out. Turn that down a little bit. Yeah. I mean, how did it look in the original? Just open the original shot up. Where is it? Yeah, this is from the day that I shot all 3 models of Focus RS in one day. Tiring, but awesome day. think I've done a different shot, whereas clouds are a bit better on this one. But we can fix the sky. I'm sure I can drop a little bit of this sky in. I wonder if I can do that. No, it wouldn't work. Anyway, so this is what it came out like last time. Sort of turn the vibrance down a little bit. I want to sort of bump this one up a little bit. So let's get rid of this annoying thing here. So the best way I like to do it is just pen the roof out, and then I can work in that space. Also, you don't want to get rid of the shadow of the aerial, that would be bad. Looks pretty good. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat. If anyone's saying anything, I'll have a look in a sec. Did not want to do that. So we've got a nice selection now. Let's do some work with the stamp. So all these lines I want to try and keep in as best I can. So that looks pretty good as a transition there. It's not looking too bad. God, my computer does not like this streaming stuff. Yeah, 6 years old, can't complain. I like to sample from other bits to sort of very low opacity, sort of bring that colour back in. Doesn't look too bad. Stream health. Three people watching. Hope you're finding this interesting, or if you just want to make me watch me, it's all working. So we select that I don't like, and sort of I think that's worked pretty well. So we got rid of that cup there. Just got to sort the reflection out in the spoiler. That should be pretty straightforward. Just a quick clone job. We probably won't get this photo all finished tonight, but as long as I get the main rig removal done, I think that's probably going to be the most interesting part of the stream, to see how I remove rigs. So it's probably not the best way of doing it. There probably is better ways, but it seems to do me okay. Just extend all that one down. Nothing on the arm. Oh. Kind of similar. So when my eventually zooms out, there we go. We have the top part of the rig gone. Obviously we've got some reflections to sort out down here. There's my camera positioning. It's okay with me. So what I'll do, I'll group. So we'll create a new layer now and we'll go and do the reflections. Which shouldn't take too long. Get rid of these little annoying things as well. On some of the simpler reflections like this one, I can just use the spot healing brush. Gets rid of it nice and simple. As the reflection of my car. Get rid of that. And that looks awful. That looks better. Yeah, don't really want the reflection of my lovely Audi in the photo. Another reflection here. This one should be pretty straightforward. Just like to keep changing my clone source so I don't try and minimise the amount of clone repetition that I get. Well, I try not to have any clone repetition, but there we go. Spot healing brush just cleaned it up a little bit, made it worse. That's pretty good. Don't think there's any more reflections. That's the curb. And then the lights. So there we go. I think that's the rig removed from the car completely. So we've got rid of the main rig and we've got rid of those few little reflections in my car. So I think that's job done. So now we'll move on to the shadow. How's the stream going? Reflections on glass. I don't know. I think it's just trial and error really, and just keep moving your clone source. I mean, luckily there's no reflections on these windows. But say for example, was there a reflection there? Let's try and remove. And try and find a shot where I had a reflection on glass. See what I did with it. Let's go back a bit. Nope. Nope. What was it? This one. So on this show I did a sort of dead straight on rigs. Obviously I had the reflections, so where is the rig shot? That one. Oh, it's front on. Oh, cramping my back. Sit down too long. I'm sorry if that's delayed seeing your comment, mate. So in this one, I'll disable all these layers. So I had this reflection over the glass. And I had the bonnet as well. So basically I think it was just a case of just sort of taking it slowly and sort of just making sure that you don't get any sort of major differences in the, because obviously the glass is going to get from lighter to darker, or depending on your reflections really. I mean, like I had to completely reconstruct all this area around here with all the car sensors, which I think I did an okay job. I mean, I just cloned the other sensor, but it kind of fits in. I wonder if I can show you this. Do a quick. So basically, just keep sort of doing little bits. I do little bits at a time when I'm clone stamping. Sort of take it in from. So there's that bit. It didn't come out too badly, but it's just practice and trial and error really. I mean, if you do one, like if you sort of, sometimes I'm sort of cloning really sort of close, and then sometimes I zoom out and it looks awful, so I have to completely redo it. But just for this case, you've got reflections, you've got like cloud reflections going through the glass. Just sort of try and keep those lines natural, because if you have like a break in the clone stamping, it will look awful. So I don't know, just keep practicing, mate. You'll get it. I mean, looking back at my old rig shots, they were really badly removed, but I suppose it's just practice and you'll get better. Don't say that. So, I mean, one thing I struggled with immensely when I was learning was shadows, to which this is quite a good example of how I get rid of the shadow. So, just make a new layout. And again, it's sort of similar thing with glass. You've got these distinct lines in the grass, which I want to try and keep, but it's easier said than done. But it's just trial and error. I mean, there, trying to get the bend on that bit right. So that looks pretty crap. That's better. So that's a nice line there to continue straight down, and hopefully match up. Shit. To hopefully match up with the line below it. Like I said, I'm constantly sort of changing my clone source. So look, you got a nice dark bit there where I've cloned. You can try and saw that out. See, this is where it gets frustrating, because it's just trial and error. I mean, if needs be, you can just continue this line all the way down to save getting some. That looks awful. I remember when I was originally editing this rig shot, this was the bit that took the longest time. Oh, cramping my back. What was that for positioning? Stream health, good. Yeah, okay. See, that bit worked. I always find that stamping, clone stamping with a lower opacity sort of helps sort of smooth out that inconsistency in exposure there. It's kind of works pretty well. That's not too bad. Got a little bit of repetition there. We can just fix that by doing that. I mean, if any of you have got any tips for me on what I could do better, let me know. I'm always open to. If I'm doing something what I could be doing so much easier, let me know. That doesn't look too shabby. Obviously, there is some clone repetition, but do something about that. And obviously, this stream will go live as a video on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it back, anything I do, just my channel link should be the same, just without the live bit. So I'll keep the wing mirror shadow. We've also got the shadow of the shadow, the reflection of the shadow in the car as well, which we've got to get rid of. Patch tool on the shadow. Not sure. Hang on. Try on this first. To be honest, I've never tried the patch tool, or not used it that much. and that worked pretty well. Let's try it on this bit. Well, that worked okay-ish. I was then just a case of tidying it up with the stamp tool. Or completely going over it. I suppose it puts the framework in for it, for removing it. I'll turn my music off, don't really. That's eating my poor little computer's power. That's not looking too bad at all. How many people still watching? 3. Thanks for staying with me, guys. Make a select tie and add blur and a fresh layer. I'll keep that in mind and I'll try it in a sec. So let's get rid of that one. What a tighter selection to the actual shadow. I suppose you've got to hand draw it as well, which is because I'm on a trackpad, it's not the easiest thing to do. Obviously I can't scroll down when I'm it's probably best to do this in small areas. Yeah, that's it. I didn't really like that. Anyway, I think that, thanks for the tip, mate. I'll try that out. I think it's something that needs sort of more practice on. So what we'll do, we'll get rid of that. But I think that has come out pretty well. You know, it's not perfect. But I think for a stream demo, that's not come out too bad. I mean, like I said, I'm not the best in the world, but right, so what we've got to do now is the reflection of the shadow in the cart, which could be fun. Should be just a simple clone stamp job. Yeah, not too bad. So there we go, rig gone. We'll just group these up. So that's rig gone. Rig gone, rig before. So let's get rid of Aaron's plate for him. I think the easiest way I do that is just pen it out, and then with the brush tool, just sample the colour. And there we go, job done. And then also I've downloaded the font for the UK number plate, which is quite handy actually, because then I can just make the number plate whatever the hell I want to say. So UK number plate, high stream. Obviously we need to make that fit better. Come on, computer. Does not like doing this. What was the perspective? I like to try and match it up as best I can to the original. So working on that E. Well, it's not even an E, it's an F, but still. Perspective. Ah, so I need to rasterize it. That's why. There we go. So perspective now matches. I'll get rid of that. Make it fit a bit better. Where are you, smart object? Convert to smart object to blur. That's obviously way too much of a blur. I mean, that's not perfect. I mean, I'd do it damn sight better when I spend some more time on it, but for the purposes of doing it here. Hi, Em. You should be in bed. Whoa. can knock on your wall. Right, let's do some quick basic editing on this photo now. Like I said, I want it to be a bit more vibrant than this one, which I think suited the vibrance look, but let's do a complete 180. So crops a bit off, like that. So give it a bit of a saturation boost. That number plate's all wrong, but I know. So what we'll do, we'll go into Canva Raw as a filter and do some bit more playing around. I think I might actually, if I'm going to do a bit of a sunburst there, I might actually need to make it a little bit more warm, a bit more cloudy. But now I can always go back and change this, as it's a smart filter, which is the good thing. I would always recommend, if you're going to do Canva Raw as a filter, make your layer a smart object, because you can go back into the raw filter, and if you don't like what you want to do, you can do it again. Whereas if it's not a smart object, once you apply the filter like this, it's done. So you'd have to delete the layer, go back in again. But as I've done a smart filter, I can just double click on Camera Raw and I'm straight back into it. So if I didn't like that, I can just get rid of that one, which is quite a good tip actually. So let's do this flare. So see if I like it or not. And I have got a tutorial of this flare on my channel. If anyone wants to go and have a look at that. So, nope, onto the brush tool. Right, one. Change that to linear dodge. Duplicate it. Stretch that one out. And then what we can do is, it's a linear dodge layer now. I'll show you the trick of that in a minute. Is if we just add a hue saturation, link it to that layer, go to colorize, choose a nice sort of orangey colour, bring the saturation up, and then bring the lightness down. Now you can't see the full effect on that layer, but if I do it on this top one, add a hue saturation, that's colour balance. If we add a hue saturation layer, clip it to this layer only, colorize, and then bring the darkness down, or the lightness down, you can see it's turned it into a nice orangey glow. Obviously you can fiddle around with that, like because I've made this first layer a bit low, I can turn the lightness back up to give it a more of a centre of the flare. So group those together, we'll move it up there. That looks alright. And what we can do is we can stretch this out. I mean, I can dumb it down a little bit, but I like it. And then we can adjust the fill. We don't want it to be as intense. Think about there, we'll do there for that one. I think that looks okay. Let's see what chat's doing. Right. How are we doing on stream health? cool, nearly an hour. I think we'll call it quits at about an hour, so a couple of minutes. So there's my flare. I don't know whether I want a bit of contrasting colour in the corner, but I think what we can do, I think it needs a bit more clarity in the road, so what we'll do is underneath that layer there, we will, actually what we'll do, we'll disable that, do a stamp visible, and we can put it under here. So if we turn that off and that off, filter. Remember, smart objects are awesome. Filter, if I hit the wrong bloody filter, camera raw. And what I can do, if I desaturate and clarity that up a little bit. Bear in mind, this is just going to be for the road, so yeah, it looks a bit awful there, but may look good, may look shit. So layer mask that. Obviously you're better off doing a proper pen selection around the car, so I'm just doing it roughly with the brush here, just for demo purposes. So we can turn that, I know I need to do it above it. So turn that filter back on. So you basically desaturated and giving the road a bit more, less orangeness. There's my camera there. Camera's good. Then nice bit of flare. I think green needs a bit of clarity in it. So again, what we'll do camera raw. I mean, this is how I do it. Camera raw is probably not the best way of doing it. Smart object. Filter. Camera raw. I'm going to use an adjustment brush. Then we can just do a inverted layer mask and just bring back what we want. No, it's just doing what I've done again, but yeah, I like that. It's not looking too bad, is it? What do you think of that edit then, compared to the original? I mean, this one's a bit, the style I was going for the whole shoot was kind of desaturated, emphasise the car, whereas this one's just for funsies. I quite like it. So I think what I'll do is I'll end the stream there. So thank you all very much for watching. Obviously, if you like this, I mean, I've got a shoot coming up in a couple of weeks, probably with my own car. So if you like that, I'll probably live stream the editing of those photos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Stop stream.